So, sorry for the abrupt start, but I'm drawing 3 dynamic poses. This is the first one. It felt dynamic-ish, although I'm not sure if it's actually one, but for this video we'll say it's one. Right now I'm working on the sketch layer, which is just drawing the figure using trapezoids, rectangles, and circles. The reference is on the right. So yeah, you just kind of use trapezoids for the limbs and just kind of draw the shapes. And you use circles for the joints. And I was keeping it kind of basic. And then I started a new layer for the line art, and I kind of kept it with a sketchy look. Yeah, I kind of decided that I'd keep these kind of like the sketchbook feel and not work on them as much since I was drawing 3 of them. So when I'm kind of doing this, I'm kind of just making the shapes kind of blend together into one shape, or a continuous shape that looks more like body parts. And then it took me a couple of tries to get this arm right. I think I had it too far back, so I had to bring it forwards a bit. After I did that, it looked a bit better. So as I worked on this hand, I was originally going to do fingers, but I decided just to leave it as mitten shapes. So after I finished the line art, I then quickly erased any palm marks I had made. So for a dynamic pose, I'm not sure if this pose actually counts as a dynamic pose. I went over to the reference and I kind of looked at how the arm was tilted towards the camera, and because that was kind of the dynamic part. Other than that, it was basically a side view drawing. So I did blue lines to show what that shape was. It was kind of a cone that was tilted forwards. And then I went back to my drawing and I tried drawing the same shapes. So then I started working on the face, and I decided not to go super into detail with it, and kind of just left it to the basics. The nose looked kind of weird, so I decided to just add a bandana and not have to worry about that. And the hair I mostly just did out of little wavy lines. I kind of wanted to do something fun, so I decided that would be kind of shoulder length and spiky. After I finished the hair, I then quickly added clothes. I didn't want to spend too much time on this, so I just made a simple tank top and pants. I also added some lines to give the clothes some texture. Overall, it was a pretty simple design. So then I made a new layer and I started coloring with my favorite brush. I picked a blue because that seemed fun, and I just did the shading by layering the lines, and then I erased what was out of the line art. And then I added a new layer and started coloring the pants. The pants took me a couple of tries before I got something that I liked because I had to keep it in one stroke so that it didn't start layering when I wasn't wanting it to. But after that, layering and shading was pretty easy. And then, as before, I erased all the stuff that got outside the line art. I also had to erase the part that got under the shirt. That's one annoying thing about this brush, that it's kind of see-through, so if you're coloring on top of another color, it will show through. And then I started a new layer for the other leg, and I shaded in that leg as well as the bandana. And then for the hair, I decided to kind of go fun, and I made it blue on one side and yellow on the other. So here's the final product. I really like it. I liked how it seemed like a stylized, unfinished sketch, and I will be posting the other two drawings next week.